Alright, number 5. Eliminate the parameter in the given parametric equation and write the equation of the conic section in rectangular form. Find the vertex, focus, and directrix. That should be a hint right there that we are talking about a parabola. So, how are we going to eliminate the parameter? Well, we need to solve one of these equations for t. Which one would be easier to solve for? I do believe that it would be easier to solve for t in our y equation. So what are we going to do? We're going to move that 3 over by subtracting it. So we're going to get y minus 3 equals t. Notice that I did not write it as y of t, I wrote it as just y, because we know that y is a function of t. So y minus 3 equals t, and now I need to take that expression, and I need to plug it in up here for t in my x equation. And so I'm going to get x equals negative 2 times y minus 3 quantity squared minus 1. And would you look at that, it is almost in conic form already for us. What do I need to do? Well, I need to get rid of that 1 and that negative 2. Which one do I need to do first? I need to add 1 first. So I'm going to get x plus 1 when I add that 1 over, and then what do I need to do? Well, I need to divide this side by negative 2 if I want to balance everything. So dividing by negative 2 is the same as multiplying by negative 1 half. And so I get that coefficient out front, negative 1 half times x plus 1 equals y minus 3 quantity squared. And now that is written in the proper form, we eliminated that parameter and wrote the parametric equation, the parametric parabola, we wrote that in as a conic section. And so what do we want to do with that conic section? Well, we want to find the vertex, so we should be able to see now that the vertex is going to have an x value of negative 1 and a y value of positive 3, coming straight from that factored form right there. And we should be able to identify that our p-value is going to come from this expression, for p equals negative 1 half, which means I need to divide both sides by 4, which means p equals negative 1/8. And so that tells me from my vertex, since the y term is squared, this parabola is going to be horizontal, like that. But we know the p-value is negative, which tells us actually that is going to be opening to the left, to the negative side. So let's add that negative p-value to the x-value of our vertex to find our focus. I know I'm adding it to the x value because it is a horizontal parabola. And so my focus is going to be negative 1 1/8, which you could write as negative 9/8. That would probably be a little bit better. Comma, the y value is going to stay the same. To get the directrix, we're going to add a 1/8 in the opposite direction. Notice that means we're getting more positive there. And so we're going to take that x value, negative 1, we're going to add 1/8. So we're going to end up with 7/8 right there. A negative 7/8 that should be. But I'm being a weirdo and writing this in the weird form. That negative 7/8 need to be an equation. And since our parabola is horizontal, notice that directrix is vertical. So it needs to be x equals negative 7/8. That's our directrix right there. Wrote it in a kind of weird way. But there's that. Is there anything else? Vertex, focus, and directrix? Hey, check it out. We're done.